Mr. Shidai, how you doing, brother?
Neo, my guy, how are
I'm
you?
I'm good, man. And you?
I'm good.
Excellent, excellent, bro. Well, I had a lot of feedback after our chat last time, man. People really enjoyed it. One of the things that people said was that I'm not quite sure how it's been with other people, but they said that I allowed you to speak freely, to say your thoughts. You know what I mean? Like they were able, I don't know, apparently sometimes they weren't able to hear you because people interrupt you a lot, or they assume they know what you're gonna say. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, that's not what I do here, brother. So just to kick off from where we left off last time, bro, because like I said last time, I didn't want to interrupt too much. Just wanted you to give me your life philosophies and that. Um, I wanted to sort of get an idea of, where you think we are today in 2024 in terms of dating, because the feedback I got from a lot of people is that you're pretty much saying that, it's useless for men. Like, don't bother dating. Don't forget about marriage. Like, there's pretty much no hope, so people shouldn't even try.
Mm, okay. I would say we are at a point whereby you cannot use the same criteria that our dads and granddads used, because
Mm,
the game is changed. Yes, you can enter the dating market and you can actually have a successful relationship, right? But you need to understand that you are going to have to start to apply new tricks, new things that were not applied by our dads and and our granddads. The game has changed.
When you say new tricks, what do you mean by new tricks? Because that sounds more like, what it sounds like dark psychology, right? It sounds like, it's like, okay, you need to know how to outsmart women. Is
Yeah,
that, am I,
exactly. And when you look at it like a relationship, a relationship is actually based on who is able to manipulate the other more. And at a certain point back in the day, men were actually good at manipulating women, or women were just kind of cool with men being able to manipulate, to outsmart them. But now the women, they have leveled up and they are outsmarting dudes. So you as a guy, you need to level up. Like seriously, your game, you know, level. That is why we're now saying now you need to master game before you master every other aspect when it comes to women. Because back in the day, it was cool if you were like, let's say, a moneyed dude.
mm,
You knew
mm,
women and the woman would, worship you. But now, even if you've got money and you're actually using, your hard-earned money to spend on this woman, she's still
mm.
going, she's still going to outsmart you if you don't have game. The game now comes to game. You must have game. It's that simple.
Let me ask you something actually, because I see a lot of people are making a comment about it, and people were commenting about it last week as well, right? What is game actually? For example, you see people in the comment section, right? They're commenting on my piercing, saying, gay, gay, gay. What what is game, right? What is alpha? Because people have this idea of being alpha. What is alpha?
Being alpha, basically, it means you need to have something um, that is charismatic, charming about you, other than something that can be bought, something that is material. Like, okay, let's say Neo, we
Mm,
take you we take you out of Australia, right?
yeah.
Take away the money, right?
Mm,
Strip you of, you know, every external quality that you may have, right? Are you
mm,
still able to be Neo? Are you still able to feel like I'm Neo? And are
mm,
the women and people, around you supposed to still say this is Neo? That's
mm,
this is what basically, like without the money, without everything, are you still charming?
mm,
Are you still able to
mm,
charm without
mm,
it? And nowadays they don't have that. Without money, they cannot charm women. That is why you see most guys, they get
mm,
shocked when a broke dude walking with what they would call a 10 or a body.
mm.
They'll be like, what's going on? But
Yeah.
what they feel, the guy simply has what we call a game. It's as
Mm,
simple.
yeah. So I was
Yeah,
gonna say, it's cool, it's cool. I was gonna say, look, as someone who grew up in South Africa, right? I don't know if it's the same in Zim. When you're young, when you're very young, the older guys will purposely like you're forced to learn game because they'll make you like, hey yo, that girl likes you, hey, go talk to that girl or whatever. You know what I mean? So you learn game from a very young age in South Africa, right? So by the time you're overseas, man, it's not even a difficult thing, right? And I think actually, if you're able to pick up or hit game on like I think South African women. South African women. I think if you can manage South African women, I can manage anything. Can manage anything, you know. But yeah, in terms of game, yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying. I think a lot of people they do rely on like money or status or but with people like that you can always tell because especially if they're in an environment where there are a lot of women, they don't know how to act. It's like they've never seen women before. You know, the way they carry themselves, you can tell. You know, the little comments they make, you know what I mean? Like you can tell, man, you know? But
yeah.
I'm hearing people in the comment section saying, you know, things like piercings and tattoos are a sign of trauma in Zim. There's clearly a bit of a disconnect here. What's happening?
I wouldn't be able to relate to, to that. I don't know who brought up that comment, but I think at some point in time for me,
Mm.
I actually used to have piercings. For me, it was just simply, fashion
Yes.
statement. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you look at my pro pic or Avi on Twitter, I'm
Mm.
actually wearing, like earrings. I used to wear them, but yeah, this side, we are a little bit too homophobic to a certain extent. And right now, I know there's some guy or some chick who's actually recording me, and they're going to make it content. Look at him; he's endorsing guys wearing earrings, blah blah blah, and stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I think people
Okay.
don't understand, like, in some parts of the world, it's a
Mm.
fashion statement, and
Mm.
also we can also argue to a certain point, like, okay, let's go back to the old kingdoms, like the Zulu kingdom.
Mm.
Shaka used to wear them.
Mm.
Yeah. So you'd say,
Facts.
are you trying to say that Shaka was gay?
Mm.
You see, that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
either way, I don't think we should, spend
Yeah.
much time,
Yeah.
on
Nah. Nah. For sure. For
Australia.
sure.
We're
Yeah.
supposed to talk about the xenophobia.
Yeah. Well, look, we're definitely going to get into the xenophobia. I just want the last thing here in terms of
It's okay.
the dating. You were saying guys need to outsmart women,
Women,
right? But then there was
yes.
also there was also the comments. Okay, for example, let's take the comment that you're known for. One drunk man is more intelligent than three women with PhDs. Like where's that coming from?
Okay, that relates to, like, in the general, situations. You'd find that women tend to get more emotional instead of being logical. When you look at, in general, many situations, that is why you see, even in times of disasters, like in emergencies, the first thing they do, they say, evacuate the women and the children, because when it comes to their reasoning capacity, they are basically the same. You evacuate the women, and then now you, as the man, you get to decide. Okay, we need to do this A, B, C, D in regards to this situation.
Mm,
Simple with that.
mm, mm.
Yes, women will just be screaming, making noise. Why? Like, chill down, calm down.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. But then, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, even if you just look around the world, but women are the most educated. These are the people that you find like in universities, right? So
Yeah,
when you're talking about smart, what do you mean by that? Intelligence?
that's
I
the
mean, I
thing.
mean, some would say,
You can actually be that's why I actually said a drunk man is more intelligent than three women with PhDs.
mm,
The problem is we look at it from a point whereby we say if someone has a degree, they are intelligent. No, you're not intelligent. To be honest, you are just someone who's able to memorize, to remember what you've been told. But when it comes to logical thinking, like, you need to be logical. Women tend not to be logical. They tend not to be logical. They're just
but that's something.
emotional beings.
But I'd say men are emotional beings as well. Because think about it, right?
And,
Who is
and
most likely to act on impulse? Like men, if you think about like how quick a man is to get angry, right, over something small. I would argue that women are actually they have emotional intelligence, right?
No,
You take example, you bump into a guy in a club. Who's more likely to start a fight over something like that?
but here's the thing. Okay,
Mm,
before we go there, you say women are more uh, emotionally intelligent than men,
mm,
right?
mm,
Okay. Now, what would explain the situation where we now have, like, I don't even know how to describe it, single moms.
mm,
Single moms. Back in the day, women didn't pick men. Their fathers
mm,
picked men for them. We gave women, like, okay, we're going to give you rights to pick the men you want. And they definitely don't know how to pick the right men to procreate with. They are picking deadbeats. They are picking idiots. They are picking irresponsible, motherfuckers. Those are
mm,
the people that they are picking. And you trying to tell me that person is intelligent. That person
mm.
isn't intelligent at all. That is why I always say women shouldn't even be allowed to vote. Because at the end of the day, why are they voting? They can't even choose the right person to procreate with. And now you're giving that person, the same power to choose someone who's going to lead a country, who's going to lead a nation. And that is why you see almost every politician and every government, their policies are biased towards women because they know those are the easy targets, the idiots. You get the idiots on your side, you're going to stay in power. Simple as that.
Yeah, but the problem is, brother, it takes two to tango, right? So if for the same woman who's become a single mother, like a man had to also play his part, right? So fine,
And
let me say I give that to you, and I say okay, fine. The woman has made a bad choice, but the man as well, but decided not to stay and actually be a father or stay and
but
actually
no,
marry that woman. So why should the onus be on the woman and not the man?
no,
If
here's
we are
the thing.
supposed to be leaders, right? If we're leaders,
Here's the
why aren't
thing.
we leading?
Here's the thing now, Neo. The
Mm,
funny thing is this. Do you know the funny part when it comes to these guys who are the baby daddies?
mm, mm,
That guy is most likely not to have one baby mother. He's going to have like two, three, four, five, six, going up. And now, this man has a history of not being responsible. He
mm,
has one baby mama.
mm,
He has two baby mamas. And then you go and decide, okay, I'm going to get pregnant for him. Why?
mm,
Because you think you're so special. You think you're so unique. That is what we call what? Being dumb. And you trying to tell me that these people are intelligent. They knowingly get into these situations with these dumb idiots. If I want to
mm,
say you the truth, the number of baby daddies compared to the number of baby mamas,
mm.
it's like this: baby mamas here and the baby daddies here. Most of us guys, we are actually responsible. It just takes like 10 dudes and they will mess up, 90, 90 women. 10 dudes mess up 90 women. And
Mm.
you trying to tell me that those people are actually intelligent. They are
Remember,
not intelligent in any way.
but I said emotional intelligence, right? But the other thing is, bro, like
And when it
there's a
comes to here's the thing: when it comes to emotional intelligence, people
mm,
tend to put in the fact that men usually get to fight, but they also don't get to look at how women cry, lash out. That is not emotional intelligence. Why are you crying? Some situations. Why are you crying? Every single situation, you're "Ah, ah." Why the fuck are you crying?
mm,
Every situation you're lashing out. Why are you lashing out?
mm,
Calm down. But the problem is when you look at that situation, you only look at how men react. Men are aggressive, when it comes to their emotions. Women, they just tend to be, chaotic when it comes to their emotions. They break down, they cry, they lash out, they can even be violent as well, but no one wants to look at that, violent side of women. That's the
mm.
problem.
The thing is, I think you're generalizing too much, and I'll explain to you why. Right? There's a book called
Okay.
Promises I Can Keep in America, where this anthropologist basically looks at the reason why women become single mothers. Right? And you actually see that it's actually a class thing. It's not so much the women. Like if you have a look at women who are in the upper middle class and people who are like super wealthy, right? You won't find this happening a lot of the time, right? So what happens, and with women that are single mothers as well, for many of them, there are people who either they met the guy when they were in high school, or it was their first love, or things of that nature. That is not to say that they're doing the right thing or that it's okay, right? But I think it's more of a class thing than you rather generalizing all of women. If you have a look, people in this particular bracket, they're more likely to look at having kids as the first step before marriage instead of, the people in the upper classes or, different social classes who would prioritize marriage first before children in terms of family building. Even if you have a look in Africa, right, we place such a strong value on kids, right? You said it before last week. You said that we have all these networks where the auntie can take care of the kids and the grandparents, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't think it's a general thing, but it sounds like you're generalizing it like for all women.
Okay. Now, Neil,
Mm,
let's get into detail. Let's look at, I want to give an example like, SA, something that we
mm,
can both relate. I mean, Zimbabweans are also in SA. You come from SA.
mm,
So let's look at about, the majority of, the female celebrities.
mm,
They have they have a chance to have like normal lives than the average what chick. But at the end of the day, they also end up having the same turnout as the average chick. Majority of them are actually single moms. So you see, it's never a thing about class, having money, having education, having whatever. It's simply a case of women today having the freedom to choose men. Women should never be choosing men. Men should choose women. Men should actually choose men for women. Simple as that. Let's go back to the basics whereby I, as a brother, I, as a father, I would choose a man for what? For my daughter. I would choose a man for my sister because it takes a man to know another man. But
mm,
now these women, they think they know so much about men. The same way we as men, we also take advice when it comes to women from our own mothers, from our own sisters, because it also takes a snake to know another snake. Simple as
mm,
that. But now people think that, they are so wise than the previous generations, and that is the problem we're having today. And also, you can never build anything with someone you like. As controversial as it sounds, you can never build anything sustainable with someone you like. People nowadays get into relationships, get into marriages because they like each other. I like you so much. I
mm.
like him so much. I'm going to get into a relationship with him. I'm going to what? To have a baby with him. I'm going to get married to him. No, 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 no. A real lifetime commitment is not going to be supported by you having feelings for each other, because you'd find that in most marriages, to be honest, if you go into a marriage expecting that this person is going to make you feel good all the time,
Mm,
marriage
mm,
isn't for you. Marriage isn't for you. Marriage is never even based on feelings. Marriage is simply something that you decide, like, okay, before I get in this shit, I need to understand this. This person is going to piss me off 90% of the time. It's only
mm,
going to be 10% whereby this person is actually going to make me feel, a bit good. But 90% of the time, this person is going to make me feel pissed. But I'm not in it for the feelings. I'm in it because it's a responsibility, it's a duty. That's what marriage is.
mm.
But now we've got women and men also who get into marriage because the vibes are good. We vibe so well. Okay, dude, why are you marrying this chick? I vibe so well with her. That's the only reason why you're getting married. Yes, we vibe so well. My sister, why are you getting married to this dude? I like him so much. I like him so much. You haven't even taken the time to consider, okay, I like this dude. I like this chick. But does this person have the same values that I would want? Does this person have the same moral capacity that I expect? You never, ever, ever consider that. You just go because your feelings are telling you you like this person.
Nah,
And that's why we
but
are where we are.
yeah, nah, but not to that. Like, you can't have a look at those things about, you focusing on this laundry list of do these people have these things. That's not also what's going to make the relationship or the marriage last longer, right? It's a little bit more than that. But besides that, like, let's have a look at, for example, sex, right? We can agree that the people who have access to sex, who give access to sex, are women, right?
Yeah.
And then the people
Women
who give
are
access,
actually the gatekeepers of sex and fertility.
cool.
That is why
And
we
then who,
blame them for being single mothers,
cool.
like
All right. So my next question: who are the gatekeepers of marriage?
the gatekeepers of marriage are men. That
Exactly.
is why I always say here's the thing, let me continue. That is
Mm,
why I always say when a marriage fails, right, you
mm,
need to blame the dude. Do you know why
mm,
we say blame the dude?
mm,
He is the one who fucked up when he was picking the woman. He picked trash, and men of today pick trash. Why? Because the trash is attractive. The trash is sexy.
mm,
They vibe so well with the trash. And then
mm,
they end up, getting into these marriages. Now you're coming to us, you're crying. Come on. This girl is, stressing me. This girl is cheating on me. This girl, she's making me raise kids that are not even mine. Dude,
mm.
you are the one who picked that shit up.
Okay.
That is why I say being a single mother, that's on you as a woman.
Mm,
Being failing at a marriage, that's on you as a man, because you are the one who's going to give access to commitment. You cannot pick a woman. You picked the wrong shit to put, into a marriage.
mm.
That's on you.
Yeah. No. Okay. Then we can definitely agree that okay, men then they definitely play a
You're the,
part. Then it's not
yes,
all. It's not.
because you are
Yeah.
the
It's not
captain
all
of the
based on
ship.
women.
That's why you say you are the captain of the ship. And when a ship sinks, who do we blame? Do we blame the sailors or the captain?
So my question is this though. Think about it right now, right? I don't even have to. You don't even have to answer this question. If I was to ask you the question that people like asking, about body counts, right? I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
if we added the numbers of our body counts together, right, it'll be a number that no one wants to be able to. Probably people can't even say it in their own language, right?
yeah.
So I see that as being part of the problem though, because why didn't we select those first women that we decided to basically, get intimate with?
Now, let me get a bit biblical with you. Do you
Mm.
know that it is said that you, Neo, if you sleep with someone who is in the virgin, you really haven't committed any sin? You know that, right?
What do you
So
mean?
now, here's the thing: if you are going to bring the body count, right, for a man,
Mm, mm.
the body count that counts is the women you divergent. Women you found, already opened. You did nothing. You contributed nothing. Yes, simple as that. That's the thing. So now, rather, you should say, Shaddai, like, okay, why didn't you marry those virgins that you divergent? And for me, I'll actually tell you this. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Two in my lifetime, only two. So I'd say, okay, I fucked up with the first one. I should have, ended up, with her. But then
Mm.
again, I always go biblical. That is why we have the parable of what? The five wise virgins and the five dumb virgins. If you're a dumb virgin, you're going to end up what? Being divergent and left. Simple as that. But if you're a wise virgin, you are going to get what? Married, and then what? Divergent or divergent, and also end up being married to that same person. So either you are part of the five wise virgins or the five dumb virgins.
So now
It's up to you. Simple
the
enough.
question then becomes then who should marry those women that you divergent?
They are not the losers. That's why I always say life has to have a hierarchy. Yeah, like seriously, life has to have a hierarchy, my guy. There have to be the people on the top and the people at the bottom. And when you're on the, let's get economical. Like Africa.
Mm,
Africa is at the bottom, right?
mm,
It's at the bottom.
mm.
We've got, I don't know, the West. Okay, we can say maybe we've got America, and then Europe, and then maybe Asia is there, and then we've
Then
got South
South
America,
America, then
and
us.
everyone.
Yeah.
But all we know is what Africa is at the bottom. What happens in Africa? Everything we have in Africa is what? The bottom barrel shit. We get what everyone else doesn't want.
Mm,
That's how it works.
mm.
Simple when it comes to relationships. The losers, they have to pick up these women that we have used, and they will actually value them, because to them they are actually what, compatible. Losers go hand in hand with what? With used up women. It's that simple. Life cannot be fair.
Okay.
Life can never be fair, my guy.
In saying that, then do you think it's much better if a black guy goes for a white chick?
When it comes to interracial marriages,
Mm,
okay, I'm a bit how do I say this? When it comes to interracial marriages, I don't know exactly where I stand. But I would say for me now, we've gotten to a point whereby, okay, the world would say is now, like this global village. I would say there is a black chick. She's not a virgin. There is a white chick. chick, she's a virgin. I'm always going to pick the virgin. I don't care if she's white, if she's pink, if she's green. I'm always going to pick a woman who hasn't been fucked before because that's one thing almost every other culture agrees on. They agree on it. We don't like each other on every other issue, but when it comes to virginity, it seemed like almost every other culture, every other race prioritize virginity. So for me, I'm picking the white woman.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Before we move to xenophobia, let me just ask you this one more thing. What do you think
Yeah.
about relationships with a guy who's really old and a girl who's young? Like what are the
Like,
like? Do you think
okay, age
do you
gap.
think there's a
What
limit there? Yeah. Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
the age
The age gap. Do you think there's
gap?
a
What's the age gap for you? What's the age gap like in this scenario, in this example? What's the age difference between these people?
But that's the point that I'm trying to ask. Like, do you think that once she turns 18, like it doesn't matter how old the dude is, or do you think like there has to be like some sort of limit?
Okay, let's say a chick is 18 years
Mm,
old, right?
mm,
And a dude is about my age, 31.
mm,
That's actually a healthy relationship, right? Because
mm,
she is in her prime years, and also me, I'm in my prime years, like 30, your 30s, those are the prime, years for a man,
mm.
right? But now we've
Yeah.
got this situation whereby we've got an 18-year-old chick, right? With a let's say 60-year-old man. Dude, that is not genuine attraction. That is hunger. That is hunger, my guy. Simple as
Mm,
that.
mm,
It's
mm,
simply hunger. So you see, I would say when it comes to the age gap,
mm,
it should not be more than let's say 30 years. I think I don't know, maybe 30 or 20 years. I think there. But when what I definitely know is whatever woman you're going to pick,
mm.
it needs to be older than here by 5 years, my guy. Because women age faster than men. You're going to watch that woman grow old and you're going to start to detest her and you're going to hate her for simply, uh, you know, uh,
Existing. Yeah.
how do I yeah, for simply, being overpowered by nature, being overpowered by time itself, you know. So pick a woman who's actually younger than you because even scientifically, when you get to it, do you know that your skin is actually 10 times thicker than a woman's skin? That is why you
Mm,
see men take a bit while before they age if you are taking care of yourself
mm,
properly. I don't mean,
mm.
you have to be doing those drugs, alcohol, and shit. Yeah.
But you see, the reason I brought this up, though,
Yeah.
like we spoke about him briefly last time, like Andrew
Mhm.
Tate is it's pretty clear that he had girlfriends when he was 28. He had girlfriends who were 16 and 15.
Now it depends, like with how do I say it, the age of consent in those countries. And like I always say, when it comes to Andrew Tate's issues, I can't really comment
Mm,
because I do
mm,
not have first-hand information on certain things. And by the way, I'm always going to give you biased answers when it comes to Andrew Tate. I'm going to be honest with you because I'm a big fan of Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is the equivalent of Cristiano Ronaldo to me. I will
mm,
never say anything bad about that guy.
mm.
Simple as that.
I guess it's not about saying anything bad, but it's about being critical and being
I
not
can
being
never be
intellectually
critical
dishonest.
because I'm a fan. You can't expect a fan to be critical of someone they idolize.
No, but you can look at what's wrong and say this is wrong.
I can't
Wrong is
even see
wrong.
anything wrong. I'm actually blinded by my love for him. Yes, I'm blinded.
Well, at least you're keeping it real, bro. If you're
Yeah.
keeping it real, that's fine. There's no point in me then asking further about this guy. But I think they're going to be in a lot of trouble. I think that what's coming is not looking good. The latest news was that they threw out all of these defamation cases. He only has one left. They're probably going to throw that one out as well, and and then he has to go to trial. But it is what it is, man. But let's get into xenophobia. You're in Zim right now, yeah?